This is the Gurkha and that is a slushy terrain, and we are about to drag this car up this hill. That's later in the video. For now, do like and subscribe to the Evo India channel to stay tuned for all our videos. Today, the term SUV has been democratized to the level that any car with a slightly raised ground clearance, some plastic cladding is called an SUV by the manufacturer. But luckily for us, manufacturers like Mahindra, Force and Maruti still provide us proper SUVs with 4x4 and low range gearbox. And we are here to figure out which of these three cars should you buy if you want to make it your daily driver as well as use it for a spot of off-roading. Now, while we love off-roading, for these tests we needed somebody who lives off-roading. Which is why from the Sahyadri Off-Roaders, we have invited Tushar Sangamnerkar, Naveen Naidu and Vikrant Pawar, who will be helping us test all the off-road tracks with us and will help us arrive at a conclusion for which of these is the best off-roader. And we will be scoring these cars on each test. 3 points for the car that comes first, 2 points for the car that comes second, and 1 for the car that comes third. Before we begin, let's see what powers these 4x4s. The Gurkha now gets a 2.6 litre diesel engine producing 138 bhp and 320 Newton meters, paired to a 5-speed manual gearbox only. The Thar we have is a 2.2 litre M-Stallion petrol engine producing 130 bhp and 320 Newton meters, mated to a 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. Jimny is a 1.5 litre petrol engine producing 103 bhp and 134 Newton meters of torque, and it's mated to a 4-speed torque converter automatic gearbox. The Jimny may be down on power, but it is by far the lightest here. Our first test is a drag on a slushy track. We'll be seeing which of these cars has the best traction and puts their power down the best in slushy situations in two-wheel drive mode. The car that crosses the finish line in the fastest time wins. Tushar, we are going in 3, 2, 1, go! Gurkha crosses the line in 20.63 seconds. So now the Jimny we have got here has one slight modification, which is these tires. These are all-terrain tires which will give it more grip. Let's see how it does. In 3, 2, 1, go! And Jimny crosses the line in 19.43 seconds. Next up is the Thar. It's usually the favorite of people. Let's see how it goes. 3, 2, 1, go! Thar crosses the line in 21.03 seconds. Jimny's lightweight and fatter rubber helps it win this test, and it gets 3 points. The Gurkha's updated engine with more power does help, but its 2.2 ton weight is still a lot, and it gets 2 points for coming second. The Thar's automatic gearbox gives it a slow start and eventually is the one that comes third and gets only 1 point. The next test is articulation. What we are going to test in all these three vehicles is how good their differentials are and how well they put down their traction. Our track for articulation is a two-way track. Both the sides have pits dug out so we can see which of these cars has the least lag in their differential kicking in. And because there's no point timing this track, all 4 of us will have a go in these cars and convene at the end to score them. So gentlemen, we have just driven all these 3 vehicles through the articulation track. Let's start with Naveen. What did you think of each of these vehicles? Let's start with the Thar.
Thar, it gives more confidence, less of a body roll that I felt, all right, and could articulate pretty smoothly.
Full points to Thar. Very swiftly done, very softly done.
I'm going to tell you Thar, he owns a Thar as well.
But I'm being very honest here. Yes, it did fantastically well. And articulation bolo, yeah, if you say differential lock, auto differential lock, everything works fantastic on the Thar. They're definitely boss of this kind of a track.
So definitely it's a Thar. Obviously the wide body kept it outside the all the hurdles.
What did you think about the Jimny though?
Jimny, while it was engaged in 4 low while I was driving, I think it got just disengaged. So probably I'll had to.
Yeah, it did happen once.
Yeah, again re-engage 4 low and then drive. But you constantly have that fear that it's touching the ground.
Yeah.
So it gives a little less of confidence. Otherwise, it's pretty smooth.
Jimny, yes, I felt the vehicle very secured sitting inside the cabin because the cabin is small and you're very close to the ground.
Yeah.
In terms of response, it didn't happen. It was good with me. There was no the gear engaged or something. It was very, very fine.
So it struggled less, but then again it came out very easily.
Gurkha?
So more of body roll, all right, and then at the peak, all right, when you're trying to articulate, all right, it doesn't give you that confidence. Differential is constantly a concern that I feel. Whenever I try to engage the differential, it doesn't get disengaged. That's a cause of concern.
It's very scary.
Very scary. 1 second, and I really struggled while coming out.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the differential is some issue which definitely affected Gurkha.
It didn't work out. So yeah, it's Thar.
So I think it's quite unanimous. We are awarding 3 points to Thar, 2 to Jimny, and surprisingly, 1 to Gurkha. The next test, a hill climb. A hill climb that's steep and very slushy. Let's find out which of these cars comes to the highest point. We're going to test the traction and the power of each of these cars. It's possible that on camera this does not look very steep, but I assure you it's very steep and very, very slippery. 3, 2, 1, go! That's not working out well for the Gurkha. The Gurkha could only make it half the way, kept spinning its wheels and could not find any more traction. 3, 2, 1, go! And this time Gurkha gets itself to the top 2. 3, 2, 1, go! Thar makes it in one go, as easy as it could be. 3, 2, 1, go! Jimny as well makes it in one go all the way to the top. Being a manual, the drivers need more time to understand the Gurkha's correct ratios. In the second run, Tushar launched in the second gear as its first gear is very short. Because it took 2 runs to get the Gurkha to the top, it loses 1 point. And the Thar and Jimny get 3 points each. And now to the next test. Our final off-road test is a time trial through an entire off-road track that we have made. It's a track that comprises of slush, water waves, climbs, drops, and everything that these cars need to be tested on. The fastest car around the track wins. Now, because this is a comprehensive test of the off-road abilities, each car will be awarded more points. 5 points for the first, 3 points for the second, and 2 points for the car that comes third. But wait, we want to build the climax up. So we are going to show this particular part of the off-road test right at the end of this video. For now, we move to the on-road tests. Our first test is to see which of these cars is the quickest in 0 to 80 and back to 0. We want to see which of these cars accelerates the fastest and is the best in emergency braking. Alright, so I am now in the Thar and let's see how this one does. 1, go! Brake! Whew, that was a fun run. I'm going to be a bit honest here, and frankly it's because of the Gurkha that this is not a 0-100 test but rather a 0-80 test. I'm a bit scared. Let's see how this goes. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, now it's time for the Jimny. I don't expect this car to be the fastest here, and also it's got the wider tires, but let's see how it does. 1, go! Go! On, about to hit 80. That's the 0-80 test done, and the clear winner, the Thar, 11.6 seconds, with the Gurkha in second and Jimny in third. 3 points for the Thar, 2 points for the Gurkha and 1 for the Jimny. Let's move to the next test. We did 4 more tests to compare these SUVs for the convenience and practicality they offer while driving in cities and highways. First, we checked the turning radius of the 3 cars to see how well they can navigate through our cities and real-life conditions like basements and small lanes. And with just 8.06 meters, Gurkha, the biggest car here, is also the winner of this test and scores 3 points. Jimny gets 2 and Thar gets 1. After this, we tested the NVH levels. First, we checked the amount of vibration that filters through these cars at 45 km per hour by measuring the shake on a vibration meter app on a 500 meter patch of bad road. And here are the results. So while Thar and Jimny recorded equally at 6.9 on the Richter scale, Gurkha recorded 7. Thar and Jimny get 3 points each and Gurkha gets 1. We then tested the amount of road and wind noise that filters into the cabin at 60 km per hour by using a sound meter. And in the noise test, Jimny gets 3 points, Thar gets 2 and Gurkha gets 1 point. And finally, here is a list of the usable features on your screen. The winner of our features list test is Jimny, which is loaded and gets 3 points, where Gurkha gets 2 points and Thar gets 1. We will have to wait for the Thar's upgrade next year for it to really compete in this test. And now it's time to get back to our time trial of the off-road circuit. Now if you're keeping a track of the leaderboard, you will realize that the cars are quite close to each other. And because of the higher points on offer here, winner of this test might just change the leaderboard. So here we go with the Gurkha. 3, 2, 1, go! Gurkha crossed the line in 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Next is Jimny. 3, 2, 1, go! Jimny crosses the line in 1 minute and 53 seconds. So ladies and gentlemen, this is it, our final car, the Thar. 3, 2, 1, go!
Time.
Okay, I'll tell you all three cars. Gurkha was 205.07.
Okay.
Jimny 153.27.
Now tell me the
Thar 136. So what did all of our tests prove? If you see the leaderboard, it's quite clear. The Thar just edged out the Jimny on the off-road tests, and on the on-road tests, the Jimny edges out the Thar. It's so close between them that there's hardly anything to choose. But as an all-round package, Jimny comes out on top and edges out the Thar by just 1 point. Jimny proved to be the most sophisticated, more practical, more conducive for everyday use. The Thar has started to show its age. It is the oldest of the three here and needs an upgrade badly. Something that'll only come next year. But it is still the most formidable off-roader and at least to my eye looks the best. So what about the Gurkha? It may be lagging behind on the points, but you should know that it is made by Force, which is not a mass manufacturer to the level of Maruti and Mahindra. Considering that, the Gurkha is a phenomenal effort. And frankly, it is the most intimidating to look at. It was a car that made me and the crew most excited every time it went for a test. And that is the character of a Gurkha. Every eye will roll towards you if you're driving in one of these. And as I was doing some analysis and cooking up another test, the crew got sick of me and decided to do this. That was not funny.